Ever found yourself staring at a check, wondering if it's going to clear in time for that crucial payment? You know the drill: the rent's due, the car payment's looming, or you need to transfer funds ASAP. And you're thinking, how long does Ally Bank really take to clear a check? It's a question that can cause more anxiety than it probably should, right? We've all been there. Let's face it, in our fast-paced digital world, the concept of a paper check feels almost archaic. But here we are, still dealing with them. Whether it's a refund, a gift, or payment from someone who's still living in the paper age, checks are a reality. And when it comes to online banks like Ally, the process can feel a bit more opaque than dealing with a brick-and-mortar institution. Think about it. You deposit the check either through their mobile app or by mailing it in. Then, you wait. But how long? Days? Weeks? What are the factors at play? Is Ally Bank faster or slower than your old bank? And what are the potential pitfalls that can delay the process? We're going to dive deep into the nitty-gritty of Ally Bank's check clearing process, breaking down the timelines, the potential delays, and giving you practical tips to ensure your funds become available as quickly as possible. Because let's be honest, in today's world, waiting is not exactly a virtue we have a lot of patience for. First, let's establish a baseline. Ally Bank, like all banks in the United States, is subject to Regulation CC, also known as the Expedited Funds Availability Act. This federal regulation sets the rules for how banks must make deposited funds available to their customers. It's designed to protect consumers and ensure that we're not left hanging for unreasonable amounts of time. However, Regulation CC provides a framework, not a rigid, one-size-fits-all timeline. Banks have some flexibility within those guidelines. So, what does this mean for Ally Bank? Generally, for mobile check deposits, Ally Bank will make the first $225 of your deposit available on the next business day. This is the minimum requirement under Regulation CC. But, and this is a big but, the remaining funds can take longer. Now, here's where things get interesting. Ally Bank, like many online banks, has its own internal processes and risk assessments that influence when they release the rest of your funds. Factors such as your account history, the amount of the check, and the payer's bank play significant roles. If you're a longtime Ally customer with a solid track record, you're likely to see your funds become available faster. Conversely, if you're a new customer or if the check is for a large amount, Ally might take extra time to verify the funds. Let's talk about the mobile deposit process itself. When you deposit a check through the Ally Bank app, you're essentially sending a digital image of that check. This image is then processed electronically. However, this doesn't mean the funds are instantly available. Ally still needs to verify the check with the payer's bank, which can take time. And what about mailing in a check? This process is inherently slower. The check needs to be physically received by Ally, scanned, and then processed. This can add several days to the overall timeline, especially when you factor in mail delivery times. Now, let's address some common misconceptions. Many people assume that if they deposit a check on a Friday, the funds will be available by Monday. Not necessarily. Weekends and bank holidays don't count as business days, which can significantly delay the clearing process. Also, many people believe that once they see the deposit pending in their account, the funds are guaranteed. This is not the case. A pending deposit means that Ally has received the check and is processing it, but it doesn't guarantee that the funds will become available. So, what can you do to speed up the process? First and foremost, ensure that the check is properly endorsed and that the image you capture through the mobile app is clear and legible. Any errors or blurry images can lead to delays. Second, if you're depositing a large check, consider contacting Ally Bank customer service beforehand. They might be able to provide you with a more accurate timeline and advise you on any specific requirements. Third, keep an eye on your account activity. Ally Bank will typically update the status of your deposit in your account so you can track its progress. And let's not forget the importance of understanding Ally Bank's funds availability policy. You can find this policy in your account documents or on their website. It outlines the specific timelines for different types of deposits and any exceptions that might apply. Now, let's talk about potential delays. One of the most common delays is a hold on the check. Ally Bank might place a hold if they suspect fraud, if the check is for a large amount, or if they need to verify the funds with the payer's bank. Another potential delay is a return check. If the payer's bank rejects the check due to insufficient funds or any other reason, the deposit will be reversed and you will be notified. And let's not forget the technological hiccups. Sometimes, the mobile app might experience technical issues or the electronic check processing system might encounter errors. These glitches can also delay the clearing process. So, to summarize, while Ally Bank adheres to Regulation CC, the actual time it takes for a check to clear can vary. Mobile deposits typically see the first $225 available on the next business day, but the remaining funds can take longer, depending on various factors. Mailing in a check will always be slower. Key takeaways. Understand Regulation CC. Be aware of Ally Bank's funds availability policy. Ensure clear mobile check images and proper endorsements. Factor in weekends and holidays. Keep an eye on your account activity. Contact Ally Bank customer service for large checks. Be prepared for potential holds or returns. Understand that pending is not guaranteed. Ultimately, the best way to minimize anxiety about check clearing times is to plan ahead. If you need the funds quickly, consider using alternative payment methods such as electronic transfers or wire transfers. And always keep a buffer in your account to avoid overdrafts. We've covered a lot of ground today, and hopefully, you now have a clearer understanding of how long Ally Bank takes to clear a check. It's a process that involves a combination of federal regulations, bank policies, and technological factors. And while it might not always be instantaneous, understanding the process can help you manage your expectations and avoid any unnecessary stress. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.